without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So let me time clip this here. Okay. Sounds good. I can definitely carry you through. Alright, so Doctor Strange, of course, recently got his Tier 3. When it first came out, when I had him at Tier 2, I had him at ranked 151. When we had it released, that morning I was ranked 70, so I'm slowly dropping. Today is July 4th, 2019, and I'm at rank 81. So I'm doing okay with his build so far, so I figured I would share a few details on how I've personally chosen to build him and give you an example of how you can use him in World Boss Ultimate. Now, the first thing I want to point out is his custom gear. Traditionally, Doctor Strange has always been an authority guy, especially if you're going to use him in PvP, which is the only spot he was able to do. He wasn't really able to do World Boss Ultimates at Tier 2. And he slowly dropped off. Like, he was able to do a lot of PvP stuff. So the authority was the go-to because of the invincibility. Guard break immunity is essential for Doctor Strange. So if you're going for an obelisk, make sure you have a guard break immunity. Like I said, it's essential. The nice thing about the authority, though, is that invincibility. That does go a long way. Now, what I ended up going with was the CTP of Destruction. That's what I have on him right now. So he has the guard break immunity. As mentioned, that's required. And he does have a damage proc. When I get a rage, which I don't have a rage in my account yet, it's going to Doctor Strange. As I understand it right now, he is doing buku amounts of damage with a CTP of rage. So that's definitely your first go-to. So if you're thinking of building a Strange, you want to build him the right way, remember, guard break immunity is essential. Recovery rate's not bad. Invincibility is really good on him, especially in PvP. Uniform-wise, I, of course, have both his uniforms at Mythic. I'm, of course, running the Avengers Infinity War. I do have it at the Mythic level with these as the secondary uniform options. So for the first one, which is Hulk's Ragnarok, I have skill cooldown. For the next one, it's Wong's Doctor Strange. Again, I have all these at Mythic because Doctor Strange is my favorite. Energy attack, recovery rate, Ebony Maw, Infinity War, dodge, Spider-Man, Infinity War, and Iron Man, Avengers Infinity War, energy attack. So those are the uniform options I'm currently utilizing on him at the moment. CTP of Destruction we talked about. Overdrive is phenomenal on him. I do have a fully maxed out Overdrive ISO set. Now, he is good with Power of the Angry Hulk as well. He's also okay with Hawkeyes if you need cooldown, but I'm running Overdrive on him right now. As far as my ISOs go, I have all attacks on him, although energy is just fine because he's an energy striker. You don't need all attacks, that's what I happen to put on him at the time. Then I have an energy attack one, all defense, crit rate. Then I have a critical damage dodge, and I have an energy attack hit point one. The hit point one is nice because of the fact that he's able to heal, so having more hit points and having a bigger pool that he can constantly refresh and recycle is nice. Obviously, there are other options you can do with him as well, but the top one needs probably be, in most cases, I would say go for the energy attack, just to cap that out as much as possible. Personal preference, though. Type enhancement, I only have a rank 4 currently. Now, skill-wise, I like to put all my skills at 6. A lot of people say at least get them to 4, but all of mine are at 6. So his Tier 3 ability does a ton of stuff. Like the enemy, it's doing stuff like stunning them, paralyzing them, removing buffs, time freeze, all sorts of great stuff. And then for himself, 40% increase for 2 attacks for 15 seconds. And we'll talk about that as part of his rotation here in a minute. Increase all attack, all defense, speed, gives him invincibility, energy damage. It's super powerful, and he charges it real quick with a good rotation. The main skills you're going to be utilizing are going to be his 5, which is always going to need to be cast as soon as it's on cooldown. It cools down all of his other skills to 1 second, first of all. You'll see this here. It says cooldown times of all skills, excluding Sorcerer Supreme, are set to 1. That's awesome, because it allows him to go back into his rotation instantaneously. It resets it. It also gives him 100% chance for immunity to all damage for 7 seconds, so it gives him that damage immunity, which helps with the survivability. Then what I personally like to do is I like to rotate between his 3, which I will always cancel, and then 2. Let his 2 finish. He heals at the end of his 2. It does a lot of energy damage. 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. 5 whenever possible, 3-2, 3-2. Same thing with the images of Econ. And remember, 2 of the powers are augmented by 40%. So what I like to do is when I cast the images of Econ, I will then cast 5 and then 2. Because those are the 2 that I get augmented. Then I go back into his rotation, 5, 3-2, 3-2. I would like to point out that his 1 does have the ability to penetrate iframes. So if they're in iframes and untargetable, he actually will penetrate iframes with his 1, which is just awesome and phenomenal. Let's talk about his gear. I have everything at 25, don't have everything fully awakened yet. The Urus that I decided to equip, of course, I always like to do the double energy. I've got the recovery rate ones because I feel like it helps with the sustain and survivability. I have an ignore defense. This one, I've got the double energy again, fully maxed out. I have critical damage, and then I've got ones for hit points just to give him a bigger hit point pool. I have double recovery on this, double energy, and then of course the hit point Uru. And then on this one, double recovery, double energy, and skill cooldown, which I don't think I need anymore, and I probably should replace that with something like a critical rate. And we'll go over his stats and his numbers. As you can see, I have 2 fully awakened sets for the amplification here. No, actually, I'm sorry. That one's got 4. So this one's got 5. The rest of these have 4. And then, of course, that's just your amplification here in your Urus. When they're amplified, you do more. Pumps them up. I do want to take another look at the Urus that I have equipped. Like I said, I do want to try it out in a different way. So here's his details right now. His energy attack's at 35,000. I like to look at crit rate, critical damage, ignore defense, and cooldown. Cooldown should always be maxed on all your characters. Ignore defense should probably be maxed as well. Critical damage and critical rate should be as high as possible, in my opinion. And then, of course, energy or physical, depending on what type of character they are, you want to have that as high as humanly possible as well. So this is where I have my Doctor Strange sitting currently. From his gear, these are his bonuses that he has. This is how his ISOs are currently augmenting his abilities. And then this is what I'm getting from my cards. How you build him will be affected by your cards massively. So, good cards, better characters. It's just the way it is. So, that's how my Doctor Strange is currently built. I'm not saying this is how you should build him. I'm not saying it's the only way or best way to build him. And your rank is only related to your growth score. So, it's not necessarily going to reflect on how good the character is. But again, this is the way that I'm going about it. So, with that in mind, let's pop on over into some World Boss Ultimate. We are going to go ahead and take on Cull Obsidian, who is a nightmare for a lot of people. And we're going to crank this all the way up to 49. Now, I can beat this on 48 and 49, but I do have some trouble because I don't have the rage. Yesterday, I beat him on 49 with about 20 seconds left on the clock. So this is going to be difficult, but I'm going to show you the rotation that I use, and we're going to go ahead and try to beat this. The team I prefer to use with Doctor Strange is Nick Fury's leadership, Coulson, and Doctor Strange. This is the team that I've been using. As far as strikers go, Deadpool, because of the defense down. Scarlet Witch, because of course her mind control. Then I like to use Invisible Woman, Sue Storm, for her mind control. Actually found out that Warpath does defense down. And then typically for the last one, a lot of times I will use Anti-Venom for the heals, but I don't feel like I need it for Doctor Strange, especially with his tier 3. So I'm actually going to use Weapon Hex, who also does defense down as well, to try to just pummel him with as much damage as possible. Now remember the rotation I mentioned. 5, 3, 2. 3, 2, 3, 2. You don't cancel 3. I'm sorry, you do cancel 3, but you don't cancel 2. You never cancel 2. Wait for that big beam of energy. You can interrupt his tier 3 ability, his 6, and it will still go off. You wait for the clones to appear. All of your skills get reset to 1 second. And as soon as those are cooled down from that 1 second, you instantly go into your 5, 2, and then go into your normal rotation. So here goes nothing. Alright. Switching to Doctor Strange, hitting up his 5. Instantly going into 3, 2. You'll wait for that big beam. There's a big yellow beam that shoots across the screen. That's what you're looking for. Might throw in a team fight there. Now look, here's images of Econ is already charged. Go right into that. As soon as you see these down at 1, right there, hit your 5, hit your 2, wait for that beam, and then go 3, 2. Now you're back into your normal rotation until images of Econ is recharged. Look how fast it's recharging already. I'm already there. We're going to rinse and repeat. It's actually come to the point with the level of survivability and power Doctor Strange has, I don't even look up at the fight half the time. I look at the skills and where the cooldown is at, because that seems to be where my focus is. I'm going to hit a 1 in there since I can't target him since he's untargetable. I will be able to target him because I want to continue to pummel him with damage because he is really difficult, especially after he hits 8 and he does his little charge up spin in the middle. He's going to start flying around the screen and having damage immunity, and he's going to be very, very, very difficult. I'm not worrying about where I'm proccing, as you may notice, which also leads me to believe that an authority might work, but it is what it is. I've got the destruction for now, so I just gotta have to work with it. Hey, thank you for that follow. Priority is always his 6 and his 5, as mentioned. Alright, here's his 8. I'm actually going to use 1 to penetrate and hopefully throw him off his game here. And it's not going to work, that's fine. We're going to go to the corner. Haha. Ooh, we need that 5 right away, and I'm going to go right back into a 6. That was kind of awkward. Hopefully that doesn't affect my ability to take him out. Something else I've also tried too is sometimes I will sneak in a 4, a 3-4-2. But I don't recommend that because I'm not sure if that's his optimal rotation. Pretty much only save his 1 when they're untargetable. I don't know if the 4 is actually giving him cooldown quicker or not on his images of Econ to charge it quicker. Ooh, I got stunned. That's not good. Alright, 50 seconds, 2 bars. I think we've got this. Yeah, we got this. There you go. Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme, Tier 3 against World Boss Ultimate, Stage 49, Cull Obsidian. Beautifully done. Beautifully done, if I do say so myself. Like I said, being a Doctor Strange fan, I am super excited about having him at a tier 3, and I really feel like they did some pretty good justice towards him. Cannot wait until I can throw a rage on him. Hopefully that gives you some input and insight into the Sorcerer Supreme so you can build him so he's badass as well. Happy gaming.